Hello everybody, welcome to another Transformers knockoff review. Thanks to the team over at TF Direct. We're taking a look at the F-12 metal deformation bootleg of the MPM movie Starscream. Not the first MPM movie Starscream that they did back in the day. They done Bumblebee and Starscream, didn't they, as 1 and 2. I think it was 1, 2 and 3. 1 and 2, I don't know, but this is the new version based on the MPM 10 Starscream. Not sure why they went for the F-12 name. I may be wrong, but I thought the Starscream was a Lockheed Martin F-22 Raptor. I could be wrong, maybe it is an F-12, I don't know that much about jets. I always thought it was an F-22, but please correct me if I'm wrong. I've got a very kind of plain box here. Mine does not want to stay shut, and there we go, we've got the logo insignia on there as well. Look, it just, yeah. Screamer comes packaged in a plastic clamshell. You could instantly tell that it's different to the original for the fact that it has paint applications. I will try and cover all of the differences. I don't have the original, but I have made extensive notes of what is different and what isn't, but this does look sensational. Here we have Dorito Scream in all of his glory. He looks so nice done in this paint scheme. Now, you know me, I love my bootlegs. I've got the Black Mamba version of this. I had the Dream Factory version of this, but I never had the new MPM, and it's a superb figure. Really do love what Takara did with the original design. It looks way more streamlined, and it does look more screen accurate, but just giving it this gorgeous selection of paint apps, panel lining, and just hints of color here and there, like on the jets. It really does make all of his detailing stand out and really kind of pop from the figure. I love the fact that we can move lots of the wings. We can have all different sorts of configurations. Now, the paint apps aren't exactly spot on, but they're pretty close. They're probably the closest we're going to get, and I really am loving this. Now, do we need an oversized version of this though to go with our Black Mamba Megatron? Oh, yeah, I think so. Ooh, getting up close and personal. Look at that detailing. Love the head sculpt. Looks absolutely superb. All of that detailing on the chest. It's not the heaviest of figure. I think there's some die cast in these toes, but it's just the attention to detail, just making everything pop with the gold and red accents. Looks really nice, doesn't it? Even the thrusters on the back there. Really gorgeous piece. Now, it's not just Starscream that received the painted treatment. We get all of his accessories done in these nice colours as well. This one's kind of a gunmetal grey there, I think. Got a sprue mark on the actual barrel. We get his saw blade. Rolls quite nicely. Again, loving all of this detailed paint applications. And then we get his missile launcher as well, and this blade. Really nice colours. Kind of makes you wonder why Takara doesn't do something like this to begin with. For those curious about scale, here he is alongside the MPM Optimus Prime. Obviously this is the Legendary Toys version because it's painted, but you can see that they do scale very nicely indeed. I actually really like how they look. I prefer how they look to how Prime and Megatron looks. I just think this scale kind of works a bit better in my opinion. Now, surprisingly enough, he doesn't look hugely out of place alongside the Black Mamba oversized Studio Series Starscreams. I've actually got myself a little Seeker army going on here, haven't I? If I had the skills, then I could probably paint them up maybe as Thundercracker and Skywarp, but bearing in mind obviously their legs are bent slightly more in that chicken position, they would stand taller, but he's definitely got that much kind of wider look to him with that wing panel. Granted, we can kind of bend these wings back, or they can angle them up or down, but I really like how he looks. I love that he looks different, and there's definitely a lot more involved in the engineering on him than there was with the oversized Studio series, but definitely, in my opinion, the best sculpt thus far. Now, comparing him to the official, it's not just the paint applications, there are some slight sculpt differences as well. Obviously, looking at the head, the paint is vastly different. It's painted up in a much more kind of white tone. This one here is now golden, whereas the original was black. We had a Decepticon insignia on the head, which is now no longer present. And this mouthpiece here, this entire section here was gold on the original. Now they've just gone for like the moustache and the beard. That's just been done as opposed to the whole section. We have purple here on the side of the head as opposed to gold. And coming around to the back of the head, again, this kind of hair piece, I guess, has now been done in that same purple as well. We have these skid plates on the side of the feet, which help when he's in his vehicle mode stop the actual paint and that getting damaged. We have these sections that jut out over the cockpit section. That's something that wasn't included in the original, and more importantly, I think this is what the original would look like. This actually has a hinge, allowing that to tuck upwards, which means it's a lot less prominent from the front, whereas on the original you would see this flap sitting down there below his crotch. I don't know, there's something about a really flexible Dorito that I enjoy. The hand can bend backwards, and there's a tab just on the underside which allows us to peg those arm panels in. So we have the blade attached. We can do the same with the cannon. But he's a very agile guy. We've got movement on the head. It can go up on a hinge, down, we can go left, and we can right. We can't tilt side to side, unfortunately. We do have all of this. We have a kind of a butterfly joint going on the chest. We can come out to the side. Really nice range on there. We've got a bend on that elbow all the way back. We've got rotation on these wrists. 2 points of articulation, I think, on the thumbs, and single point on those fingers, but we have a bend inwards and outwards as well. No abdominal crunch. Still haven't found one of these guys with an abdominal crunch. Legs forwards, backwards, out to the side. Thigh swivel in there. Bend and bend. Bend and bend. And then we've got feet side to side. And we can go up and down as well. So he is a very stable, agile seeker. I absolutely adore him. So now we all agree that the bot mode looks good. I think so. Let's get him transformed up into a jet mode and see how that fares. First port of action though is to just remove these weapons if you've got them in. So just untab. Oh, peg in pretty tight. And the gun as well. Come around to the back. And this is going to go back down. And this one's going to go back down. And they should just push and tab into place. Come around to these wing panels. They're going to fold downwards and downwards again. Just missing this piece here. And again, this one here, this one here. This comes down, and this one comes down, and bring that one back. Bring this piece up, tuck that in, bring these back to the center, like so. And you want to come straighten off these legs so they're perfectly straight. You have these tabs here. Unplug those from both sides. There's a wheel tab here. It's going to lift, like so. And that's going to rock backwards. Flatten off this piece here. And that's just going to come backwards for now. Depending on how you've had your wings displayed, there is a hinge in here. So you can do lots with it. You want to bring these panels back up. And this is actually going to rock on this extending hinge and come out. So we can bring that up to the top for now. So I mean, it's initially designed to be like this. But the idea is that we fully extend it and bring it all the way up to the top, just so we've got clearance. You now untab this piece here, like so, and this is going to rock down, so bring these all the way down, bearing in mind that this piece here needs to keep straight, like so. Again, bring that down, keeping this hinge here straight. Flip them over. We have a couple of tabs here. We have this one here, and we have the one on the chest as well, which lifts up like so. Bring that out. So again, on this side, untab this piece and bring that up. Were these die cast on the original? Let me know. They're plastic on this one. I weren't sure if they were die cast. Bring that up, out, and just make sure this is up as well. It's way more folding on this guy than there was on the Revenge of the Fallen mold. Untab this crotch piece, which comes down. This piece here is going to lift upwards and come up and slide in to the side. This can then come upwards like so, and the head can slide inside by lifting this piece up. There we go, just compress that in, bring these panels down and bring this panel down like that. This is going to tuck, this will tuck, these will slide like so, and this will slide like so. Untab the back torso piece and the front torso piece, allowing for these to shift. We can then just compress these back panels together, and once we go over the end, the wings will line up, tabs on the side as well. We just need to push everything in for now, and we're going to start folding all of this up. The jet mode's actually a lot smaller than I was expecting. Some really nice mass shifting going on with this. Let's bring this wheel up and come around to the back here and make sure that these fins are up to that angle as well, which gets them out of the way. Close off that crotch panel again. Extend these all the way down, like so. Bring these panels up, and you want to rotate the lower legs. So again, on this side, just holding it firmly, just rotate that lower leg. Untab these feet. These are going to come up and roll over like so, and there's a tab just on here. It's going to come down. The kneecap panel will come up. It is spring loaded, but you have to lift that up, bring this hinge out, and work that in like so. Just make sure you bend it at this point on the toe, so that this should, it says, push, lock, and tab. Then rotate these legs inwards, and it's going to push and tab in at 2 points. There we go. On those legs. You will have to excuse me if I look a little bit lost when I do this. We don't have any instructions with these yet again, but let's plod along. Right, you want to first of all extend this panel from the arm, and that just comes untabbed like so, making sure that this is all upwards. This is going to come around. There's this panel here which flips, and this is going to come out like so. This piece here folds downwards. This piece here needs to come upwards, and there's this small tab underneath. Make sure that this comes up and under like so. This can then come out, this goes in, and this is going to rock on this hinge, and that's going to collapse inwards, which covers off this section here. This then folds and folds again. Make sure you folded up these hands like we did for the weapons mode, and that's just going to sit like this, and then bring this tab under, push and secure that in, and just push those down. Make sure these hinges here rock forwards so that the sections here will sit directly over those wings. Again, on this side, just make sure that this rocks forward like so. Like that. And then over to the side. These legs will then come up and over, and they're going to sit up this top panel here, like so, and these are going to slide in and in, so that these can lip in that joint like this, and then we're just a matter of lining all of these panels up now. Make sure these are up, make sure these are all going to tab in. This will push and tab in as well, and just make your journey around your jet, tabbing every little panel into position. And looking at the underside of the wings, these panels can tab in on here, and there's the jet thrusters have tabs on as well, so these should, he says, line up with the panels on those jet thrusters, and I should push and tab into place. And here we have him fully transformed up. What a gorgeous jet mode. It's not I don't know, I suppose it's not the slimlinest, I guess, but everything tabs in remarkably well. I had to really give this whole chest section a really good push down for the back here, but my gosh, does that look absolutely gorgeous. I am liking the pattern on there. It's not spot on, I don't think. I don't know, it's very close. I really like it. Now the main differences in jet mode between this and the official, we've pretty much covered in bot mode anyway. It's those chest pieces that spray out here. You can now see these. They're new, as well as the bumper sections that sit on the feet to avoid paint wear. I'll flick the wheels up here, so he should kind of roll. But that's really nice, really solid piece. Probably my favorite movie KO to date. It's just made remarkably well, really structurally sound. My poor Skywarp junker gets pulled out of retirement to show you the size in jet mode. This is of course the Kuban Bao version of Skywarp, and everything kind of fell off him in the end. He's a bit dusty, he's been in the storage box of junkers, but this piece kept coming off and his tail fins kept falling off. But you get the idea of size. I mean, how nice would one of these look done up in those colours? In terms of MPM, yeah, that's probably way too big. These jets are absolutely massive. The nearest we've got something that scales with that was that Taikong Zan Starscream that I had, which was absolutely huge. That's probably the nearest we're going to get to a scaling vehicle mode, but it's good to see how these all look, and comparing that to the Black Mamba oversized Studio Series. It's definitely a lot bigger in its jet form, but also the undercarriage is much more substantial as well, and the detailing is good but not as good. Adore the colours of the KO. Really sensational pieces. If you have the Masterpiece version, do I recommend you get this? Yes, I do. I think the decal is better. I think it works better. I think this is the more definitive version. If you are looking for something with the oversized team, not entirely sure it works oversized wise, but then again, these Black Mamba Seekers are designed to be the oversized ones, and there's really not that much in terms of scale difference, so bot mode could definitely work. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. I've included a link in the description below where this can be purchased from TF Direct. And until next time, from myself and the rest of the collectibles household. Thank you all for watching. Goodbye.